It gives me great pleasure to introduce our next two speakers. The speakers use the following quote by Eleanor Roosevelt for inspiration: "The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams." Our first speaker is the valedictorian for the class of 2018 and a distinguished member of the Center for Education and Human Development. She will be attending the Davidson College in the fall. Please join me in welcoming Ashley Henneberger to the podium.
September 30th, 2014, I found myself sitting at the very top of the bleachers in the freshman section of the gym, squeezed next to two guys who looked like they could be 40 years old. It was crowded, my back hurt from sitting so long, and all I could think about was my biology quiz next class. I remember looking out over a sea of white and teal gowns at the class of 2015's convocation, and I felt completely overwhelmed by the thought of ever becoming a senior in high school. I wondered who I'd be in 4 years, if I'd have the same friends, and what college I'd be going to. And I also remember the class president motioned towards us and hinted at the fact that these 4 years will be the fastest of our lives. And although at that very moment I doubted I could make it 4 years in this school, he was absolutely correct. The past 1,380 days have been both challenging and gratifying, presenting us all with incredible opportunities and obstacles that have made us an amazing group of young adults, ready to take on the next chapter of our lives. Glen Allen High School students, I am incredibly honored and excited to be before you today, a day that marks the beginning of our future. I know that completing high school is an amazing accomplishment, but I know I'm not alone in saying that the road was bumpy at best. Balancing classes, jobs, and personal obligations, all while facing the looming prospect of becoming a grown-up is challenging. Yet if I learned anything from my favorite story, The Little Prince, it's that even a small sense of hope and imagination can carry you far. However, in times where you needed more than hope, I hope that you all found your people to carry you through. For me, I'm eternally grateful for my mom, dad, and grandparents who have supported and loved me unconditionally, for my lunch jags who never fail to make me laugh, and for Megan, Emily, Rachel, and my little sister who keep me grounded. Throughout my 4 years as a high schooler, however, I feel like every moment has been dictated by time. How many minutes are left before the bell rings, how many seconds I can shave off my mile time, how many hours I can spend at a friend's house, even how many minutes I can make this speech right now. The list goes on and on. We've been working towards this end goal of finishing high school, and now that it's finally here and everything's coming to a screeching halt, I've finally began to truly reflect on the amount of time that I and we have spent as Glen Allen students. 33,096 hours, and they weren't for nothing. When I think of one word to describe the class of 2018, one rises above all others: community. It's not just our diverse student body, unbelievably dedicated and passionate faculty, or our hardworking staff who work to ensure a safe and innovative environment each day, but the idea that no matter who you are or where you come from, there will always be someone here to support you. Our class has made it through various threats of violence and 3 different principals, yet with each year we've grown closer with the support of one another. Mr. Davenport, I think I speak for us all in saying that your kindness and guidance has contributed directly to the community that we all love, and that we are incredibly honored to be your first class as principal. Our love, unyielding dedication, and passion for every individual was evident in Silent Night, the walkout for nationwide school safety, and penny wars for Chase and Britland. And I have no doubt in my mind that the exceptional community that we have here today will follow us for the rest of our lives. As the class of 2018, we've watched each other grow and leave our impact on the Jaguar community. We've been an integral part of the Glen Allen family and have made another lasting impact. Entering college, the workforce, military, or wherever you're going, take with you every positive memory you've had here at Glen Allen and use those memories to anchor yourself in the new and undoubtedly challenging times ahead. Although our time as students at Glen Allen High School is coming to a close, there is not a doubt in my mind that our strong sense of commitment to one another will remain. No matter what the verdict of the Battle of the Classes was, this is truly the greatest class on earth, and I'm beyond thankful that I've spent the past 4 years with you. Thank you.
The next speaker is a senior chosen by student and faculty to be our most valuable Jaguar. He will be attending Virginia Commonwealth University in the fall. Please help me in welcoming James Vithoulkas.
Parents, faculty, graduates, friends, and uncles deemed cool enough to attend. This moment is priceless. I'm honored to speak before you today, and I'm equal parts surprised and humbled to have been nominated the most valuable Jaguar. This came as a shock to me, as my boss has been adamant for months that I'm worth $9 an hour. As the old adage so eloquently oversimplified it, time is money. The last 13 years of my time have been spent, if you will, in the Henrico County public school system. However, phrasing it this way doesn't sit right with me. To spend implies a finality. Money spent is not easily recovered. I can't track down a single one of the $240 I spent freshman year on a Kill Bill replica katana. Some call this purchase a costly mistake. I prefer to see it as the world's coolest letter opener. Money's value is not intrinsic. It's determined by monetary policy manipulations and a number of market forces that I won't pretend to understand before you today. I did not score a perfect 100 on the WISE financial literacy exam. Paxton O'Brien, Thomas Gordon. Go Rams. However, I do know this much to be true. Each year, the US dollar depreciates with normal inflation, and similarly, the things that our dollars can buy us lose value. Cars lose value the moment you drive them off the lot. Now, to depreciate by definition implies that something had value in the first place. And for those of you who remember my first car, this qualification is debatable at best. I can tell you, however, that the shady salesman valued my 2005 Chevrolet Equinox with a salvage title at $4 grand. Today, I'm willing to part with it for $200 in a Klondike bar. Or maybe just the Klondike bar. Come see me after this is over, we could make a deal. Unlike our questionable purchases, memories and experiences gain value over time. Though my car now collects rust, broken down in the driveway, I can remember it in its prime, broken down somewhere between Tappahannock and Mechanicsville. One afternoon, on a 2-hour trip to the Potomac River, became a 5-hour odyssey that spanned 2 separate breakdowns due to a faulty radiator hose. Though at the time, my friends and I wanted to jump off of the nearest bridge, which was 27.3 miles away, we Google mapped it. I learned a lot of valuable things on this trip. I learned what a shady mechanic looks like. I learned that carrying an extra stick of deodorant in that 90-degree sweltering heat is very valuable. And on that day, sitting marooned in front of Battlefield Elementary School with my heat gauge maxed out, blasting James Brown on the radio, I found that I had 2 lifelong best friends who would tolerate my clunker of a car. I challenge you to find some friends who will tolerate yours. The truth of the matter is that the things we tend to value in life are not always the most precious. Money, status, cool watches, these things are temporary and they don't hold their value well. But I do like it though, Mr. Davenport. It's very cool. It's got my name on it. Memories, friendships, common struggles, these things make up the timeline of our lives. My challenge to all of you is to place the highest value on the things that truly make life worth it. Examine these last 4 years and ask yourselves what kept you going. To end with a quote from Mr. Tousley, who explicitly told me not to include a quote in my speech. Be not boring. At our 10-year reunion, I don't want to hear about the sick new bonus you just scored last year, or the hot set of wheels you just bought. I want to hear about the time that you got out of a speeding ticket because you were wearing a Dale Earnhardt t-shirt. And that's a true story, by the way. If you're out there, you know who you are. These types of stories are the ones that you should constantly look to one up and make even more outlandish ones. Your most valuable moment has yet to be lived. Go out and make it. Thank you.